Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News. The BSP Dobell branch in Mount Hagen will officially open Friday, October 11, 2024, following a year of operations. The branch, managed by Himsen Kasu, serves around 300 to 400 customers and focuses on delivering high-quality service and promoting digital banking. Key milestones include the recruitment of local staff and the onboarding of 95 cash agents to ease transactions. In the lead-up to the opening, the branch handed over community projects, including a solar installation at Kagamuga Urban Clinic and the commissioning of a new cash agent. Mount Hagen United Primary School has received a significant donation from BSP Mount Hagen branch, including 3 computers for staff use and a fully installed solar power kit. This donation is part of BSP's ongoing community project to improve the learning environment for teachers and students. BSP Mount Hagen Area Manager John Tomba Jr. highlighted the importance of the community's role in maintaining the new resources, while BSP Group CEO Mark Robinson expressed excitement about the opportunity to support local education. Students were told to make full use of the equipment to shape their future. Since 2009, BSP has invested over 300,000 kina in 16 community projects across the Western Highlands province, showcasing its commitment to community development. School principal Philip Post thanked BSP, noting the impact the donation will have on reducing school costs and improving productivity for teachers. BSP's Dobell branch has invested 30,000 kina in a solar power system for the Kagamuga Urban Health Clinic in Mount Hagen, marking the branch's first community project. BSP Highlands Area Manager John Tomba Jr. emphasized the bank's commitment to community development, having invested 2.5 million kina in similar projects across the Highlands region. He called on the local community to care for the new facilities. Sister Karen Gula, the sister in charge of the clinic, praised the solar installation, which was mitigated frequent blackouts. She noted that the power enables ultrasounds for antenatal mothers on site, reducing the need for hospital referrals. Additionally, the clinic will receive a fridge to store vaccinations, improving services for infants. Sister Gula expressed emotional gratitude for the makeover and emphasized the significance for being the first project for BSP.
Every year comes around, and when they go and do new project, we will always be the first one. So it will always be in our hearts. Yeah, thank you. I know that it will help us. And we are happy that BSP is with us. BSP is for us, and BSP will always give back to the community.
The Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary recruitment team at Bomano Training College is undergoing medical checks for the second batch of recruits. This is to ensure the officers are healthy and fit to commence training. Assistant Commissioner of Police for Training Peter Phillips said this is the second medical checkup for the recruits. Apart from the medical checks, ACP Phillip also stressed on discipline within the force. Formal police training is expected to commence at the end of October or the first week of November.
Our second batch of 2023 recruits here. We're finalizing our medical reports. Once we are done with having every one of them checked, and we will commence our training very shortly. And we're also having our cadets go through medical checks again. We want to be sure, because we talk about discipline. The training here is it's not a holiday camp, so we want to make sure that every man and woman who is coming as a cadet or recruit, we need to recheck them properly before we get into our business of training camp.
The Pacific's eastern islands can expect a usual cyclone season according to New Zealand's climate and forecasting agencies. On Wednesday, NIWAN Met Service released their modeling for the upcoming tropical cyclone season, which runs from November to April. It is a milder projection for 6 to 10 cyclones overall compared with last year. Solomon Islands and New Caledonia are most at risk, likely to face 2 to 3 storms of at least Category 1 strength. Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, Wallis and Futuna, Fiji, Tonga, Samoa, Niue and American Samoa are expected to face 1 to 2 cyclones. Addiction experts in the Northern Territory say a new offense targeting so-called nuisance public drinking could exacerbate the problem. The new offense is one of a draft of legislation pitched towards community safety set to pass Parliament in the first sit-in.
Alcohol-related harm costs the Territory $1 billion annually. Today, the government's detailing its latest response.
Is a really important part of stopping crime before it happens.
Drinking in public was previously an offence in the NT, but that was changed following recommendations from the Royal Commission into Aboriginal deaths in custody. Currently, police can arrest people if they're being a public nuisance, but people can't be fined just for drinking in public. The change means anyone drinking in designated public spaces could be arrested and fined $925 on the spot, and they would be added to the banned drinkers register for 7 days, with exemptions for popular watering holes.
We know that people like to go to places like East Point, for example, and grab a pizza and have a quiet beer as they watch the sunset. And that won't be obstructed by these laws.
The CLP promised the new public drinking laws ahead of the election, but the peak body for alcohol and addiction services in the NT says it hasn't been consulted.
Also doesn't address the issue. Like, the research shows that it's not actually likely to reduce things like assaults or like property crimes, the things that Territorians are kind of saying they're worried about.
And they're worried it will disproportionately target First Nations Territorians and people sleeping rough.
We know from previous research on, say, search and seizure laws that it does tend to compound kind of racism and experiences of racism. There's racial profiling that kind of happens in police's decision making.
No laws specifically target anyone. Laws are there for the protection of our entire community and apply equally.
The opposition would not confirm whether they'll support the measure when it's debated in the first sittings of Parliament next week.
There have been emotional scenes at Brisbane and Sydney airports as more repatriation flights from Lebanon arrived while war rages in the Middle East. Many say returning home has brought a mixture of relief and anxiety for those left behind.
Safe in the arms of loved ones, the emotions raw and overwhelming.
Just very grateful to have her home.
Home after fleeing Lebanon, the danger evident on departure. Many heard explosions on the tarmac during takeoff in Beirut. The journey for these citizens was long but necessary.
It was getting closer and closer and we just thought it's time to go.
We can hear the bombing and we were so scared, our family is so scared.
We appreciate our government to bring us back home safe.
2 more government evacuation flights touching down in Sydney, another in Brisbane, with around 770 Australians on board.
I think they're relieved to be back home.
Feeling much better, much more relieved.
Excited to be home?
Yeah, can't wait to see my mum.
Julie Pritchard hadn't seen her daughter and grandchildren for nearly 6 years.
Yeah, I just can't wait to see them. Give them the biggest hug. Oh, sorry.
Rima was reunited with her husband, who was particularly grateful.
Yeah, God bless Australia. I'm going to be paying my taxes 100% because...
You do pay your taxes! Of the thousands of Australians still in Lebanon, more than 1,600 have escaped so far. About 3,500 are registered to leave. But as tensions rise in the region, the government warns future flights aren't guaranteed.
For those back on home soil, the relief is tinged with trepidation.
For anyone, any family, indiscriminate, whatever their religion or background is, we don't want this war upon anyone.
In sports, Castlefield Tigers rake in the Super League, and PNG Prime Minister's 13th co-captain Liam Horn is relishing another opportunity to represent his country of birth with pride. After playing out his second season with Castleford Tigers in the UK, the young Central lad is back in the country as part of the PNG Prime Minister's 13th squad ahead of their annual clash against the Australian Prime Minister's 13th side on Sunday. Liam and Hunters number 9 Judah Rimbu have been given the honour of leading the side as co-captains. During the Kumul's visit to the Digicel head office yesterday, Liam was lost for words to express how grateful he is for the new role.
Oh, this is my first PM's game. I haven't played one yet, so it's good to play for a lot of boys that I haven't played with in the past. And young Jude over the years, when he was a young fella, he used to message you on Instagram, and to see how far he's come from back at the Hunters to getting the Player of the Year and to be a captain now, and it's a privilege to be his vice. Yeah, my mum's a very proud Papua New Guinean woman from Central in Hula, and she's always talked about her growing up in Papua New Guinea, and she always reminded me, even though my skin colour might be white, that I'm still a Papua New Guinean boy. So yeah, she's always reminded me of that, and coming back here, it always feels like home, and the family always get around me, and they come to the airport and welcome me, so it's been really good.
Papua New Guinea, Fiji, New Caledonia and Solomon Islands will begin their FIFA World Cup 26th qualifying adventure as the group stage gets underway at HFC Bank Stadium in Suva today. For the first time in FIFA World Cup history, the Oceania region has one guaranteed qualification spot available, with an additional place in the FIFA Intercontinental Playoff also up for grabs. The stakes have never been higher for Pacific football's best, with the prospect of representing their nation on the biggest stage slowly coming into view. In the opener today at 4 p.m, Papua New Guinea will play New Caledonia. PNG eyes for a better performance under a new coach. And that wraps up our news update. Do join us at 6 tonight for more news and sport.